Madden holiday is here and we will play all night. Calling sick and sound sincere, in tackles will delight. The fridge is packed with drink and meat, the taste of victory sure is sweet.
Wow, I managed to actually go 5-0 last week. Barely. I mean, I wasn't too surprised that games like Iowa State and Kansas State or Hawaii and Stanford were close, but UNLV and Idaho State was a much closer game than I thought it was going to be. No disrespect intended to Idaho State, but yeah, they looked like the Tigers looked like they were going to win that game for a little bit, and then the Rebels pulled back and won it in the second half. So, yeah, right now, I think if you had any hope that this would be the year where the Runnin' Rebels would overtake Boise State, it's probably gone now. Like I said before, Hawaii barely managed to beat Stanford, mainly thanks to some really bad clock management by the Cardinal. Jaguar Gator 9 did a whole video about it. I'll link to that in the description. And then, of course, there was Iowa State and Kansas State. Both teams seemed to make just about the right plays they needed to in the second half. The defense for the Cyclones really stepped up. The first half was mostly forgettable. I mean, it was a lot of teams going down the field and not really doing much of anything, mainly because it rained so bad that the field got completely wiped of all the white lines. They had to try to repaint it in the second half, and it didn't even take there. And yeah, all I'm thinking about now is the fact that the Vikings have to play on that field a little over a month from now. So yeah, that's about the big thing I take away from that game. Kansas wound up blowing out Fresno State, which is not really that much of a shock. About the only real solace to take from this is that the Bulldogs were able to hang with the Jayhawks for at least a quarter. Finally, Western Kentucky was able to pull away from Sam Houston State in the second half. I mean, the Bearcats put up a pretty good fight. I think they even took the lead at one point. But yeah, the Hilltoppers were just a little too strong. And Western Kentucky wide receiver Matthew Henry really did kind of make the play of the day with his touchdown catch to start the game. So that's about all you can really take away there. Anyway, we now technically start the proper college football season, as this is week 1, and we're covering 5 games. We're covering Ohio versus Rutgers, Auburn versus Baylor, Texas versus Ohio State, Notre Dame versus Miami, and TCU versus North Carolina. And we'll start taking a look at those right after the break.
I was right behind him when he started to spin. I know the feeling, know where to go, right?
Two champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
Very unpleasant on an oval, I'd think.
Some people just can't get it right.
Even at Indy?
Oh, especially at Indy.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf. Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Perhaps I should follow you then.
Not a bad idea, Nigel.
Introducing the 32-valve, 280-horsepower Lincoln Mark 8. And the only interior that can keep up with it. Drive the new Lincoln Mark 8, but drive everything else first. The new Lincoln Mark 8. What a luxury car should be.
Nobody wears just white anymore. Now everything's bright. But how do you remove stains from bright colors without taking the color out too? Now you can treat color special with new Color Bright Clorox 2. Clorox 2 Color Safe Bleach has special stain lifters to lift stains and brighteners to keep those pretty bright colors. So treat shirts, towels, and sheets special with new Color Bright Clorox 2, the color specialist.
Our first matchup sees the Ohio Bobcats taking on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And yeah, we're starting off with a little bit of action. And also sort of the Big Ten. I mean, let's face it, most people still have to kind of be reminded that Rutgers is part of the Big Ten. Ohio are the defending MAC champions, and they're coming off an 11-win season with a victory over Jacksonville State in the Cure Bowl. They were so good last season that their coach, Jeff Elman, left to take the job at Charlotte, aka UNC Charlotte, and he's been replaced by Brian Smith. On the plus side, they were not horribly affected by the transfer portal, and they have multiple starters returning from last year's team, most notably quarterback Parker Navarro. Meanwhile, Rutgers continues to exist. Yeah, again, I don't mean to be too hard on the State University in New Jersey, but they're the type of team that I think if they were not in the Big Ten, if they were one of the non-Power 5 conferences, they would probably be up there with the likes of, say, Tulane, Boise State, maybe even Liberty, as, hey, they're maybe a yearly threat to make the college football playoff. But being in the Big Ten, I think, again, they're just kind of middle of the pack. And even then, now with the Big Ten being so big, middle of the pack is not necessarily very good. I mean, I think they are the team that everyone secretly hopes results in college football adopting the promotion relegation system of elite soccer. Still, Rutgers has been competitive the last 2 seasons. They have made bowl games. Again, they're just kind of very middle of the pack. Greg Schiano is a very good coach who runs a run-first offense and then pass when needed. So they do really well. They have a good 1-2 punch at running back with C.J. Campbell Jr. and Sam Brown V. So again, I do think they have a lot of strengths. It's just, again, they're going to just kind of be middle of the pack. So yeah, I do see this as having the markings of the yearly MAC team upsets a Power 4 conference team, but I think Rutgers might actually still be just a little bit stronger and a little bit better. I think this will be a highly competitive game that will be closed very late, but ultimately I think the Scarlet Knights are going to pull away late and win this one. So yeah, I'm picking Rutgers.
With all the great things that come with the ease and convenience of the preview channel, it does, however, present one interesting challenge.
Baseball games on the same time as the movie. I'll watch the baseball game and tape the movie, and the special. I can't do this.
The preview channel. Even if you can't watch everything you want, at least we make it very easy for you to know what you're missing.
At first, it was just a cough, but by 3 o'clock, it was the flu, and Lisa Halley knew enough to get home fast. To Theraflu, serious hot liquid medicine. Doctor recommended Theraflu. Your flu misery stops here.
For thousands of great values, these are the best weeks to buy at Sears. This Craftsman half-horsepower garage door opener is only $129.99 while quantities last. Or for only $199.99, have the pros from Sears install it. But hurry, Sears' best weeks to buy end soon.
Someone tried to kill her. Another person might have given up, but she tracked down her attacker and discovered he's a cop.
I saw him.
Killers don't wear name tags.
Cops do.
You got the wrong guy.
I was afraid to walk into my own house.
Elizabeth Montgomery.
I know it was him.
Howard Rollins.
He's coming back.
With Murder in Mind, Tuesday.
The police called it suicide. Can a society of super detectives prove it was murder?
Did you kill her?
The cops don't have a clue to this murder. Does a psychic know who done it?
I know my killer.
You can solve any crime if you find the hard evidence. A special 48 hours, Wednesday.
Our next matchup is the Auburn Tigers traveling to Waco, Texas to face the Baylor Bears. Now, this game might actually be like the perfect representation about how much realignment has changed college football. I mean, if you had done this 15 years ago, Auburn would probably be a possible college football playoff contender taking on a middle-of-the-pack team in Baylor, and now it's really the other way around. Right now, this is definitely a make-or-break year for Tigers coach Hugh Freeze. He, recruits well, but they just haven't won enough to justify his contract, really. He's got 11-13 in 2 seasons, and losing to the likes of Cal Berkeley last year really did not help. On the plus side, the transfer portal brought in Oklahoma transfer Jackson Arnold at quarterback, and he should help provide some much-needed offensive punch. And it's also going to fall on coordinator DJ Durkin's defense to step up when they need to as well. Now, Baylor did struggle quite a bit last year, but they did rally to win 8 games, and thanks to the unpredictability of the Big 12 this year, they are a dark horse playoff contender. They're led by quarterback Sawyer Robinson, and he leads a high-powered offensive attack with the likes of wide receivers Colby Prentice and Josh Cameron, with running back Bryson Washington also provided some offensive punch. And the defense features stars like defensive lineman Alex Foster and defensive backs Reggie Bush and DJ Coleman. Overall, I think Baylor is probably the better team here, or at least the more trustworthy team, and so I'm going to pick them to win this close one. I think it'll be a good game, but ultimately the Bears are going to pull away here. Again, they're going to also look at what happened with Kansas State and say, hey, we need to maybe make some moves here if we're going to get into the CFP, so they'll definitely have to do what they need there to win.
I hate blind dates.
When life turns up the heat,
He's here.
nothing protects you like Degree antiperspirant. It's body heat activated to release extra protection.
Jeff? Hi.
Degree, your body heat turns it on.
They're coming out now. Here they come.
And the winner is Ford Probe GT.
We recently accepted the Motor Trend Car of the Year award. But the real trophy is yours to take home. Ford Probe GT. A lean, carved shape. A button-down cockpit. Pure 24-valve performance. And now, Motor Trend Car of the Year.
Now, for sinus sufferers, the makers of full prescription strength Actifed introduce new Actifed Sinus, daytime, nighttime. The only sinus relief system that makes it simple to treat sinus pain right, day and night. The daytime formula breaks up sinus congestion so you can breathe without making you drowsy. The nighttime formula is maximum strength so you can rest.
Your sinus is better?
Yeah.
New Actifed Sinus, daytime, nighttime. Treat sinus pain right, day and night.
Our third game is the Texas Longhorns taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes, and the game that everyone is upset got big nooned. Yeah, basically everyone likes to get completely blitzed while tailgating, and they won't be able to sober up with kickoff being so early. Anyway, after 15 years of waiting, the Arch Manning era of Longhorn football is finally here. What do you mean it's only been 3? Anyway, Texas did lose quite a bit from last year's team that was considered national championship favorites, but ultimately came up short in the semifinals. They lost the likes of Matthew Golden, Savion Brooks, Alfred Collins, Jayden Blue, and that's just to name a few. They lost at least 5 or 6 more guys off of that team. But they've recruited well and once again are championship favorites. Meanwhile, the Buckeyes actually are the defending champions. They beat Texas in the college football playoff semifinals, and they've recently announced that quarterback Justin Sand is now the starter. Insert Dragon Ball Z joke here. Anyway, Ohio State has returned a lot of weapons from last year, like wide receivers Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, and Brendan Innes. And they also have running backs James Peebles and C.J. Donaldson Jr. Not to mention defensive standouts Kenyatta Jackson Jr., Ty Howard, and Eric Mensah. And a lot more, but there's just way too many to name here. So yeah, I think the Buckeyes played the right football at the right time last year. They're definitely going to be pumped up in front of a home crowd. They're defending champions. And to be honest, I think they're the better team overall. I'm going to pick Ohio State to win a close one. Again, I think those will be highly competitive throughout most of it, but the Buckeyes are ultimately going to pull away. Arch Manning is going to need to have a really big game for the Longhorns to win. I just really don't see that happening. So yeah, Ohio State will win.
Look what's popping up, that's free. Special K waffles from Eggo. Once you see how good fat-free can be, whoa, no, you never let go.
No way. It's all mine.
Special K waffles from Eggo.
Eggo Special K waffles. Crisp, delicious, yet every bite fat-free, cholesterol-free, and just 80 calories per waffle. See how good fat-free can be.
Oh, no, you never let go. Nah. Special K waffles from Eggo.
A surprising thing happens to egg noodles when you take out the yolks and you add extra egg whites. They get lighter, fluffier, and there's no cholesterol. No yolks, We don't have what you don't want.
For those of you who have been reluctant to wear a hearing aid, Miracle Ear has more great news. If you have trouble hearing in noisy situations, the exciting Miracle Ear Clarifier may be your answer.
I used to dread going out with my friends. Background noise kept me from joining in the conversation. But the Miracle Ear Clarifier reduces background noise.
Call this number. Miracle Ear will send you a booklet on better hearing, plus a coupon for a free hearing test. Learn about all the good news from Miracle Ear.
Some shower scenes haunt us for years. Now, the most memorable shower of all.
Surprise!
Murphy's Shower.
The Blonde Street Gang.
Join Paula Zahn, Katie Couric, and Joan London for Murphy's Baby Shower, followed by Designing Women all Monday.
All those who love great comedies, say hi.
The book most widely read. The book most hotly debated. The Holy Bible. But is it fact or fable?
Did all those miraculous events described in the Bible really occur?
Join host William Devane for a controversial special event, Ancient Secrets of the Bible, Friday.
Our next matchup is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish taking on the Miami Hurricanes. And you know what? There used to be a t-shirt associated with this rivalry, but that was a different time, and that's a different video for a different time. So different, in fact, that Gridiron Lore actually made that video, and there'll be a link in the description. I would have never had the time to actually make a video like that anyway. Anyway, the Fighting Irish made it to the college football playoff final last year, falling short to the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they've actually returned most of the players from that roster. The only big difference is that quarterback Riley Leonard is gone, and he's been replaced by C.J. Carr. On the plus side, their main running back, Jeremiah Love, is back, and he should be able to put up some big numbers again this year. That being said, at the end of the day, it's really going to fall upon the young Irish defense to step up here and help them win games. Much like what I said before with Auburn, I think we're entering a make-or-break year for Mario Cristobal and the Hurricanes. This is a team that should have at least played for the ACC Championship and made the college football playoff last year, only for it to really fall apart with two harsh losses to Georgia Tech and Syracuse that ultimately probably cost Cam Ward the Heisman. The offense just started committing foolish turnovers and forcing the ball into places where it didn't need to be, allowing everything to fall apart. The defense got banged up. It was not pretty. Now, while Cam Ward is gone, Georgia quarterback Carson Beck has transferred in, and he's now expected to put up some Cam Ward-like numbers, even though he's recovering from elbow surgery stemming from an injury late last season. And that's kind of the thing. I just have way too many question marks on offense for Miami to really get behind them in any way, shape, or form. And to be honest, Notre Dame is just the better team on paper. Miami just has too many questions, so I think, again, this game's going to be close, but ultimately I do think the Irish are going to win here. I like Notre Dame.
When you have a taste for the holidays, you want a soft drink that tastes like the holidays. You want the crisp, clean choice that's everyone's favorite icebreaker. 7-Up, the Uncola. Because you never know who might drop in.
Stop by the Winter Wonderland for holiday savings on all 7-Up products. And make the season bright.
Gone are the days of the 2-week vacation. The average American getaway has sadly dwindled to 4.1 days. But what hasn't diminished is our need to escape to a quiet, stress-free environment, like the luxurious interior of the Acura Vigor. Don't think of it as a drive to work. Think of it as a 30-minute vacation. One woman celebrating a new family, another fighting for her marriage.
I filed for divorce.
I'm pregnant.
She created a lie she couldn't live up to, a lie that turned to kidnapping.
She just took her. Don't you want to see your baby girl?
And an innocent mother would be accused.
What did you do with the baby?
Veronica Hamill, Nancy McKeon, Baby Snatcher, Tuesday. She came to the rugged West to be a doctor and inherited a family.
I never claimed to know anything about being a mother.
You're not going to be our mother.
Now she faces her greatest challenge.
Brian ran away.
Premiering Friday on CBS.
Do you think Ma would mind if I called you Ma too?
A movie for the whole family. Jane Seymour is Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Our last matchup is TCU taking on North Carolina, and yeah, this is it. This is Bill Belichick's big college football debut. Now look, I'm not going to get into some of the off-the-field stuff on this just because I think that's just a little too scuzzy. I'm going to focus mainly on the on-the-field product here, and Bill Belichick and GM Michael Lombardi have certainly hit the recruiting world pretty hard. They got the transfer market and managed to bring in some very highly touted recruits, most notably quarterback Gio Lopez. At the end of the day, the big question is, are we going to get the Bill Belichick of old or the old Bill Belichick? Like I said, are we going to get Bill Belichick from the glory years, or are we going to get him from his last few Tom Brady-less years in New England, which, yeah, they were not very good. TCU had kind of a down year last year, but they were really ravaged by the injury bug, and they're trying to start off on a healthier note this time around. In particular, they seem to have two big stars on the offensive line, which is anchored by the Deal brothers of Marcus and Devin. The defense is also expected to take a big step forward. They have two standout defensive tackles in Connor Lindgren and Jonathan Box, who are expected to have big years this year. And you know what? The Horned Frogs actually have a little bit of experience in this, as they had to welcome Deion Sanders to the FBS coaching ranks a couple of years ago, so dealing with Bill Belichick might not be too hard. Overall, the Tar Heels definitely made the bigger splash in the offseason, but TCU really appears to be more consistent, and I think it's going to come down to offense in the end, where, yeah, I think TCU might have the edge. Again, don't know what the experience is going to be with UNC. Are we going to get an innovative offense that does things, or are they going to get the stagnant offense that Bill Belichick ran in New England the last 2 years? So yeah, ultimately, I think TCU is going to have to pull away and win. I mean, after all, they've got the best weapon around in the Hypnotoad. All praise and glory to 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 the Hypnotoad.
When I get a sinus headache, the whole house feels it.
I feel so bad seeing my mom suffer like that.
The pain, the pressure, it's hard to describe.
She's just not herself.
Tylenol Sinus understands. That's why Tylenol Sinus gel caps have 2 maximum strength ingredients in easy-to-swallow gel cap form to relieve the pressure and the pain.
It stops the pain so I could be me again.
Tylenol Sinus, the strength you need from the name you trust.
Who wants to clean twice? Spray cleaner first for this greasy mess, then go back after the streaks with glass cleaner.
Don't clean it twice. Cinch it once. New Cinch from Spick and Span. New Cinch is the first cleaner that handles both grease and streaks. Glass cleaner can't always get the grease, and spray cleaners can leave streaks. Either way, you'd have to clean twice. But New Cinch gets the grease and the streaks, even on glass. Don't clean it twice. Cinch it once.
Kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again.
So to wrap things up, I like Rutgers over Ohio, Baylor over Auburn, Ohio State over Texas, Notre Dame over Miami, and TCU over North Carolina. More power to the Hypnotoad. The games we're going to be covering next week starts our NFL slate, which also means that there's going to be less game footage shown for this. Basically, again, to save time, I'm going to be capturing less game footage. So, again, we'll be talking about multiple games, but you're just going to kind of be seeing 2 or 3 games played over and over again. Just, again, got to save time on these things. They're taking too long. Anyway, the games we're covering next week are Illinois versus Duke, Texas State versus Texas San Antonio, Delaware versus Colorado, and Arizona State versus Mississippi State. Then on the NFL end, we're doing all the primetime games, with the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the LA Chargers in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Buffalo Bills, and the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. The next video, I'm planning to have it be the random trade review on Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor, Volume 1. That's the Titan comics, by the way, just in case you were wondering. And I'm planning for that to be up on late Friday or early Saturday. And then there's going to be the WWE Clash in Paris review. That is going to be up on Monday. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember that you can support my work at patreon.com/sleepytime for cat productions, or just click the link in the description. Also, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be made aware of further videos.